12th March 2020 is the day when the first COVID-19 case was reported in Kenya, 4 months after the first case being reported globally at Wuhan, China. After the onset of COVID-19 in Kenya in the year 2020, many sectors were affected, which overlapped up to the schooling sector, where the co-curricular activities, which include the sports, came to an end in the schools.
For the past 2 years, when we have our sports were cancelled off because of the COVID situation, actually we felt like the boys were always in class. So this kind of breaking monotony outside here was not created. So there was something which was not okay.
However, after much consultations between the Ministry of Education and stakeholders in schools, it has now begun unraveling the sports in different sections, which have just begun in the zonal level, just to ensure that the students break the monotony that for a very long time has been in the classroom.
My name is Nelvin Ayuma. I have just enjoyed the day, and the best thing I've enjoyed today is that we have met with other students from other schools, and we have been in class for a long time, just going to games, learning, but it was very rare to interact with other students. Yes, that's the thing which has amazed me today. It has made me happy.
For true, it has been a challenge, and we've been yearning for the sports to come back. However, I want to first of all thank the ministry for making the bold decision. Even though the notice was very short, it was very abrupt, about 4 days. Remember, during the athletics, which have been concluded, the notice was about 2 days. So we were getting it a challenge to prepare the students, but we succeeded. So this one we were aware for at least 4 days. We prepared our teams well, and I want to laud the ministry for giving us the chance. I want to state this, that the terms calendar have been very short and brief. It's 10 weeks. So the pressure on the students on academics has been very high. So the aspect of bringing back the co-curricular activities will help to refresh the students' mind, so at least they will get engagement. So as we also pump knowledge in class, they also come to the field to refresh. It helps them at least to refresh and continue. So we don't expect much of the student unrest because their minds are occupied, not only in class, but also in sports.
Stumbling blocks were not elusive in the sports resumption, with sports stakeholders citing late notices from the Ministry of Education that forced them to use a crumpled fixtures for the games that inconvenienced some other schools.
The games have gone on smoothly, though there were some challenges. One, it was about financing. So the ministry had mentioned it was going to release the money for the sports. At times the money has not been dispersed. But I want to thank our heads, Kesha, because they have always made arrangements for us to be able to move on, even with those challenges which we have. Allow me to state this, that the other new aspect we have, the aspect of us doing sports on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, has been a big challenge. The other zones, Kiogoro zone, Nyantrago zone, Kiumbu zone, they schedule their sports on Saturday. So, and I want to confirm that there were some good teams like Riondonga, which is very good in soccer. They could not participate because the school is SDA sponsored. So the aspect of religion was a bit a challenge, and us holding the sports on a weekend is something you're not used to.
In the Gusii region, among the historic sports powerhouses are Kisii School, Nyanchwa Boys, among many others that have excelled in different sports disciplines.
For boys soccer, we have not done so well. The teams which have always done well in the past are Nyanchwa, who went to the county before the championship was shut down. Then we also had Gianchere, secondary school in Kiumbu zone, was doing also very well in soccer. We had Our Lady of Victory, Nyabiosi, from Kiumbu zone, has been doing well. So those are some of the key teams, plus Kisii School. So in soccer girls, Nyaura Secondary School, where I happened to be a coach before I moved here, was the best. There is a time we were heading to the nationals. We were playing Jera Girls of Siaya, but we lost in the final 1-0. So they went to the nationals, we were left behind. So for our team in soccer, we are quite grateful because, you know, the last time we met, we were playing Nyanchwa Boys soccer final, a match which was abandoned here because of some 1 or 2 issues. So later we agreed, and that match was rescheduled at Gusi Stadium, where we played and lost to Nyanchwa Boys as they went to the county. So we were offended. We've been trying to regain back our place.
With the sports resumption, many schools and students who have rehearsed for a very long time have a hope that they will achieve much in this year's sports edition.
Yes. Yeah, my name is Collins Kiplimo. I'm from Kisi School and I'm playing volleyball. In terms of games, we thank our Ministry of Games and Sports for giving us this opportunity to endure in here. And from now we have been playing with Nyanjwa, and it was not a really good game. It was very hard and we were able to win. And from that, I tell my players that from now and then we will always win and we will be playing. And from the principal, I tell him thank you for supporting us, and my fellow students.
As the sports curtains gradually open, schools have a hope that the resumption will fully unfold to tap the co-curricular potential in students and break the class monotony.
You see, we've been in a class doing academics. This is we want to thank the government for having opened up sports again. Boys and girls are able to interact and utilize their God-given talents, because we know there are quite a number of our boys who are good in co-curricular activities, apart from being good in the class, and it gives an opportunity for boys to interact, girls to interact, do away with the monotony of being in a class, relieve their attention and they grow up, because we need to bring up students who are physically fit, academically sound, and spiritually okay.
They hope that the Ministry of Education will set sustainable policies that will enhance systemic sports flow in schools.
And we look forward even to next year, when we now will go now full in terms of co-curricular activities, because we know in Kenya, talent pays. We have quite a number of athletes and sportsmen who are brought to glory and who have even had a lot of investment in terms of investment in Kenya because of sports.
Our request could be that as we go back to normal term dates, if they could give us the official working days we do our sports, I think it will be okay. As much as we understand the term is very short, that is why the ministry opted that we use the TSC, we use the weekends. So we believe come January, when we go back to our normal term dates, the sports should be able to resume during the normal working days.
What I can say is that the government should come back to this Academy of Talents. This is where we have young talents which can be nurtured and do better outside there, rather than having them going to the university level and pick them from there. But at this young level, if you pick these young people and you nurture them, they can be better than when they have grown up already.
As you can see, boys love sports, the girls love sports, and they have welcomed the sports with open arms. So it's our wish that as we move on to January, when our terms will be resuming back to normalcy, that the events will go on. And I want to assure you, I want to assure the other members of the sub-county, we as Kisi School, we've been training, we have assembled our teams, and we are actually aiming for greater heights as we proceed in this championship.